All right, seventh grade math. This is lesson 21, adding and subtracting integers. All right, so there we have a reminder. It says, when to subtract two integers, change the second integer to its opposite and then add. So Mrs. Gates is a math student. She has to calculate the following figures. What is the total? So we have within parentheses, negative 13 plus 16 plus within parentheses 29 plus negative 15 minus a negative 36. When calculating a string of integers that requires addition and subtraction, follow this method. The first step is to write all of these subtractions as addition. The second step is to calculate within the parentheses. So if you look over here, we have this negative and it's being subtracted. So what we are going to do is we are going to add the opposite. So we're going to change this subtraction to an addition, change this negative 36 to a positive 36. Then you are going to work within this parenthesis, work within this parenthesis, and then add. So negative 13 plus negative 16 is negative 29, plus 29 plus negative 15 is 14. Then you're going to add 36. And when you go through and add negative 29 plus 14 plus 36, you get 21. So the total is 21. Now, when we are doing this, we're going to follow these rules on the guided practice. So for the first part, it says, write all, we have find within parentheses 12 minus 14 minus negative 31 plus 20. It says write all the subtraction problems as addition. Now this one is a little bit special because of this negative and then the parentheses. So I want you to take note that when they rewrote it, they got 12 plus negative 14. They changed this, they changed this to plus 14, plus a negative 14. Notice that we have this minus that is now a plus, but that minus goes to this one and to this one, so we have to change them. So the opposite of a negative 31 is a positive 31. The opposite of 20 is negative 20. So it says to now calculate within the parentheses. So within the parentheses, I have 12 plus negative 14, which that is negative 2, plus 31 plus negative 21 is 11. So then when I go through and do this, my answer becomes 9. So you want to make sure you get those problems filled out before going on to the next. If you need to pause the video, please pause. When we come down here for problem number 2, it says write all subtractions as addition. This time you have to write them out. I'm going to make this a little bigger. So we have 28. It stays the same. Our plus 3. Now we're going to change this subtraction. I need to change that color. We are going to change this subtraction to plus the opposite, negative 5. Then I'm going to change this negative, I meant to change the color, but oh well, to plus a negative 12. Then it says calculate within the parentheses. So my 28 stays the same, plus, what is 3 plus negative 5? Well, my answer is negative 2 plus negative 12. So on this last part, when I go through and do 28 plus parenthesis 3 minus 5 parenthesis minus 12, it is saying the same thing as 28 plus negative 2, which is 26. 26 plus negative 12, my final answer is 14. Make sure you have that copied down before going on to the next page. You can pause the video before going on. All right, now You can do these problems two different ways. You could sit here and go through and change all of the subtraction to adding the opposite. If you have a calculator with the parentheses, you can punch it in as is on your calculator. So on problem 3, I would punch in -3 plus begin parenthesis 8 minus 7 in parenthesis, hit equals, and get an answer. If you don't have a calculator with parentheses, what you could do, I'm going to do this in color so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to add the opposite. So now within the parentheses, 8 plus -7 is 1. And if I have -3 plus 1, so because I've done that problem, -3 plus 1 is -2. So I can do it by changing all of the subtraction to addition, then working within the parentheses, then doing the final problem, or I could punch it in on the calculator. So you're going to do these rest of these problems either by following the steps, changing the subtraction to an addition, and adding the opposite, or punching it in on a calculator. Make sure you get those parentheses. One of the things I like to do to check myself is to run it through the calculator at least twice. If I get the same answer twice, then I think I'm good. If I get two different answers each time I run it through the calculator, I run it through a third time. When you come down here to problem number 10, it says find the missing value that makes this expression true. Now, if you remember, we talked about working within the parentheses. So what I would do if it was me, I would work within my parenthesis. The first parenthesis I have is this one. And that's saying 16 minus 12. I change that to 16 plus 12. And then I would get an answer within that. And then when I do that, I get an answer of 28 equals 30. So now when you think about it, I have to add something to 28 to get to 30. I have to add 2. 2 plus 28 is 30. So whatever answer I put here plus a -25 has to equal 2. So you have to give me what that answer is. And you're going to write that answer here. When you get on problem 11, you are going to tell me how you found it. So you're going to write out that. When you come down here, we have been dealing with addition problems, correct? So what I would do if it was me on problem number 12 is I would write Finnegan's scores out. I would write Molly's scores out, and I would put a plus sign in it. So I will do Finnegan's -9 plus -4 plus -12 plus 24 plus -18 equals. Then you would do that problem, and then you would do Molly's, and then you're going to get his score and you're going to get Molly's score. And then you're going to find the difference between them, who won the game and by how many points. Well, you're going to take the two numbers, and you're going to subtract them, and you're going to get an answer. All right. So that's how to do this. It says finish the rest of the assignment. Don't forget to submit to me through Canvas when done. Good luck and have fun.